Where are you seeing the market right now? Is anything growing or is it all contracting?
I don't know if this is an industry thing, but we're seeing a lot of venture capitalists purchase up, manufacturers, that are, I think that's affecting technology. And I think it's a negative thing. I've seen quite a few of these companies go different directions, I think, where the technology can go, and it gets kind of pigeonholed where maybe investors want it to be. So that right now, I think, is a big deal in our marketplace, especially because you're getting investors into manufacturing or manufacturers that have a different agenda. And I think that is kind of hampering technology innovation right now for our industry.
What is QuickLink?
The company's been around for about 20 years, and they are known for remote production tool sets. So think of remote collaboration, remote production in terms of controlling remote production, and then also bringing in guests and callers into environments of broadcasts.
When you're talking remote production, are you doing the transport of the signal? Are you providing equipment at each end? What am I getting from you?
So we have a product where basically it sits at the facility or the studio, and then you plug in your cameras. It'll do the DMX lighting control, audio. So it's a portable pack that you have at the production studio, and then you can remotely control that from anywhere in the world.
Why would you do that?
Customers and clients don't want to be in the same room at the same time. People want to have control over something where they just don't have the ability to get into a studio. So having that, you can control rooms all across the world, all across the US, without having to be in the same environment. So it's pretty convenient.
Well, you've been in business for 20 years, so there's obviously a need.
Yes.
But as an old studio guy myself, why would I want to have somebody control my lights remotely?
Yeah, because you can't, you don't have the ability to send somebody from, Los Angeles to New York to do your production, right? So if you want somebody to do that remotely, you have this tool set, you have this connection to the environment that's easy to set up, easy to control lights.
Forgive me for pushing back.
Oh, no.
But it requires that all that stuff be preset. So I'm walking into a studio where the lights are already hung.
Right.
Everything is focused. So really all they're doing is turning it on and off.
Right. But they don't have a production staff to get that, produce that show. So, it's more of an integration where you're just hooking up cameras into the box. So, yeah, it's the production environment that you're controlling, versus the integration device side of it.
So it would be, again, thinking of cameras and lights, it's useful where you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. But it would not be useful if I'm doing a unique setup and everything is being done for the first time.
Right.
Okay, I feel much better now. I was getting really worried there for a moment. So
that's just one part of the production, right? So
give me an example of more.
So we have a product that brings in remote guests. So that's sort of where QuickLink came from back when Skype for broadcast kind of came out. They were licensed by Microsoft to bring a hardware solution to Skype to bring that into your broadcast and spit it out SDI into your switcher or router, wherever you're going to go. So the evolution of that is bringing in remote guests into a new product called Studio Edge. And this will bring in Teams, Zoom, Skype, and then we have our own calling platform called Studio Call Live. You can bring all these and mix and match them and then send that signal out to your broadcast via SDI or NDI.
Well, I hate to be devil's advocate again, but if I punch the Skype button on my computer, that person shows up. Why do I need you?
Right. So we're doing a production. So think of a talk show. Think of CNN bringing in a remote guest, right? So they need to bring a high quality picture and audio into their broadcast, and they need to do it easy, and they need to do it with a tool set that it's not complicated, but they need to have that, high quality video and audio come into the show. So with our box, you can bring that caller into a slot, and basically you send them a link, they get that link, they accept it, and then they're boom right into your production as a Skype or Teams or Zoom caller. So the whole workflow just makes a lot of sense for a broadcaster to bring that in.
So what have you got that's new for us here at the show?
So the Studio Edge is new. So that's where we integrate Teams and Zoom and Skype and Studio Call Live, our platform, into this box. It's a 2RU hardware. It's 4 SDI inputs, 4 SDI outputs. It's got a 10 gig NIC on it and a 2.5 gig NIC. You could do Dante with it if you're going that route for Dante. So you just install the Dante virtual sound card on it, or you could come out analog with an analog breakout cable set. So that product is designed to bring those remote guests into your production, whether you're regardless of the switch you're using, any platform, or spitting that out to a NDI network or whatever, or recording it as well.
If we exclude broadcast, who else is using your gear?
Yeah, so that technology is also built into our switcher platform. So Studio Pro is our live production switcher. Think of it as a all-in-one box for live production. So that technology is built into it as well. So you can have these Teams callers, 8, 9 callers all coming into your production. If you wanted to add graphics and do a double box and mix effects and all that sort of production side of it, you can do that within our Studio Pro, which is the live production part of it, but it has this technology built into it. So, every day we see productions that are bringing in remote guests, right? And this is a platform that makes it simple, whether you're doing it directly on our Studio Edge box or within our live production switcher. Both have the capabilities of doing it, and both are at different scales. I think when you're talking about who can use this product, I think broadcasters tend to want a simple solution that's just got the callers and none of the integration of live production into it. But the live production box has the callers. It has I think an easier use case for small end productions to use. Churches, houses of worship, something like that. It's a switcher with the technology built into it, but it's easy to use and at price points that I think that are affordable.
With remote production, how do you reassure me that I'm going to get a high quality signal back from wherever it is that's not going to get stolen by somebody intercepting the stream?
Well, there's no guarantees in IP video. Even in SMPTE 2110, right? There's no guarantees. But like I said, the company's been doing this for many, many years. They have expertise in remote production, right? So they know the bandwidth requirements. They know the network requirements. They know what to do and what not to do. So they can, direct you in the path of what's right and what's wrong, and to make sure that you're not going to, got you in the middle of production. So it's the expertise of doing this for a long time, and it's the knowledge transfer that they do. Because
where are you seeing the market right now? Is anything growing or is it all contracting?
I don't know if this is an industry thing, but we're seeing a lot of venture capitalists purchase up, manufacturers, that are, I think that's affecting technology. And I think it's a negative thing. I've seen quite a few of these companies go different directions, I think, where the technology can go, and it gets kind of pigeonholed where maybe investors want it to be. So that right now I think is a big deal in our marketplace, especially because you're getting investors into manufacturing or manufacturers that have a different agenda. And I think that is kind of hampering technology innovation right now for our industry.
What do you want people to think about when they think about QuickLink?
I want people to think of us as not just a manufacturer, not just a company that provides a product or solution. It's a family. It's a small, tight group, and there's passion in what they put into products. They overspec the hardware. They make things bulletproof. They want the QuickLink name to be recognized as like a trusted partner. And so, the family aspect of the company that's in Wales, reaching out to the U.S. They've tasked me as starting an organization here in the U.S. and Canada. Really for me, it's about synergy between the companies, at home base and here and with the customers, and really learning from customers in remote production what's needed and in live production. But our strength is remote production. So it's really bonding, the ties of a family, I think, to get synergy and help produce and provide solutions that really the customers need.